Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
And a very, very good Thursday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, brisk, beautiful fall day outside. Here's what's on the menu at Elk City Meals on Wheels. And guess what? Today is Thursday Bingo. It's Bingo Thursday at the Elk City Meals on Wheels location, 1510 West 9th Street. Calling your order, 225-5821. Or go in there and sit down and play a little bingo. Dining room hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizens meals, just $7. That includes everything, your meal, the dessert, the tax, the drink, the whole thing. Today, Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, Brussels sprouts, roll, and vanilla pudding. That's what's on the menu today on Bingo Thursday at Elk City Meals on Wheels. Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, Brussels sprouts, roll, and vanilla pudding. Don't forget, you can still get those free books brought to you by the Friends of the Carnegie Library and the Carnegie Caravan. Free books delivered right to you in the Elk City area by the Friends of the Library. And if you're having trouble reading regular print, ask them about their free program that can help. Here's a phone number, 225-0136. Call the library, 225-0136. Friends of the Carnegie Library and the Carnegie Caravan. Study Strong, helping little Sutton Hunt between now and November the 12th. So you still have a few days to get in on this deal and help this young lady. She's 3 years old from Hammond, afflicted by leukemia. They're needing your help. They've got a raffle going. First place gets $5,000. Second place gets $3,000. Third place gets $2,000. And it's just $100. $100 to buy a raffle ticket. Again, I hope and pray whoever wins it just gives that money back. Lynn Walker, 580-660-0210 for more information. Call Lynn, 580-660-0210 to help this little girl out. Anybody with the Hammond All Sports Association can help you as well. 580-660-0210. Let's all be Sutty strong. Little Sutton Hut. Okay. Let's go in here to these energy stock prices, which have gone up just a little bit this morning. Still under $60, though. West Texas Intermediate, New York Mercantile Exchange up 20 cents, but trading at $59.80 on a December contract out of New York. Brent crude oil, the ICE Futures Exchange out of London, up 16 cents, trading at $63.68 a barrel. It's January contract there. Tocom crude oil in Japan down 630 yen per kiloliter on a November contract out of Tokyo. Now, New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas up 6 cents, trading at $4.29 per million BTU. All the refined products are in the green. RBOB gasoline up $3.53 to $194.46. Heating oil up $7.35 to $250.60. And gas oil in the New York Mercantile Exchange November contract up $29.50 to $783.25 per metric ton. Okay, yesterday I talked about OG&E's CWIP request to the Oklahoma Corporation Commissioners to invest in their infrastructure. Construction work in progress. That's what CWIP stands for. If you remember, they passed a law that said these utility companies can actually charge you before any of their upgrades take effect. So construction work in progress. So that request by Oklahoma Gas and Electric, OG&E, isn't going anywhere with the Oklahoma Corporation Commission at this time for at least the next week. Regulators considered a vote on the controversial move that would have put construction project costs on the backs of ratepayers for the next several years while the additional electric generation projects were being built. But it was delayed for another week to give more time to consider a proposal to deny some of the CWIP request. Commissioner Brian Bingman wasn't so quick to join the CWIP move, despite a new state law that said regulators shall approve such projects if they entail the use of natural gas for the generation project. OG&E sought CWIP approval for generation capacity additions, including the Black Kettle Battery Project near Enid, improvements to its Comanche plant, and the addition of 2 natural gas combustion turbines at the company's Horseshoe Lake Power Plant east of Oklahoma City. The company serves 907,000 customers, covering 30,000 square miles in Oklahoma and western Arkansas, as its 2024 Integrated Resource Plan demonstrates a need for additional capacity in 2028 of about 1,096 megawatts, growing to 1,215 megawatts in 2030. It contends that by 2034 there will be a need for 2,592 megawatts. Therefore, long-term forecast curves remain central to justification. CWIP is not in the best interest of the ratepayers, said Commissioner Bingham. As he explained his proposed 128-page order, we will follow the law, but it has a big impact on ratepayers, and we're going to take a look at it. OG&E asked for pre-approval to cover a 5-year capacity purchase agreement with Tenaska's Comanche Energy Plant in Kiowa, a 20-year agreement for power from the Black Kettle Energy Storage in Oklahoma City, and an additional 2 new gas-fired combustion turbines at a cost of about $506.4 million at Horseshoe Lake Power Plant in eastern Oklahoma County. So right now, the Corporation Commission says, we're going to wait. We're going to try to get a little more information, and then we'll come back with a decision on that. Okay. The other thing that I came across, and it's kind of a story for, Oventive exits Oklahoma through the New Vista acquisition shift. Houston's Oventive Inc. is ending its oil and gas exploration in Oklahoma. Additionally, this marks a significant exit from the Anadarko Basin region for a once highly active operator. Therefore, Oklahoma energy stakeholders will feel the immediate strategic shift as capital migrates north into Canada. The company announced it reached an agreement to acquire Canadian-based New Vista Energy Ltd. in a $2.7 billion deal. Plans to fund it through some of its divestiture of assets in Oklahoma's Anadarko Basin. Also, the structure signals aggressive capital redevelopment away from legacy Oklahoma shale exposure. The disposal pathway tied to aggressive timeline. The Houston company said it will launch a divestiture process for its Anadarko Basin assets, which it expects to complete by year-end 2026. Additionally, multi-year unwind highlights the scale and complexity of Oklahoma's disposal. Divestiture proceeds are expected to be used for accelerated debt reduction, stated the company in its announcement. Meanwhile, accelerated debt reduction directly aligns with current investor preference for disciplined free cash flow prioritization. So they're going to sell the Oklahoma assets to try to bring down some of the debt for this acquisition that they're making up with New Vista in the north of the border in Canada. So Oventive said it's temporarily paused its share buyback program for 2 quarters. Additionally, pausing capital return levers reinforces balance sheet preservation priorities during the integration risk cycles. The company bolt-on acquisitions activity was also paused until the share buyback program has resumed. Said the base dividend is expected to remain unchanged. Therefore, the dividends floor signal stability to the market despite the dramatic portfolio shift. Kind of give you an idea, the Anadarko Basin, of course, is located west central Oklahoma and is one of the top liquids-rich resource plays in North America. Oventive's acreage is held primarily in the black oil window of Scoop and Stack. Multiple stacked geological horizons make this play primed for long laterals. And Oventive's proven cube development application, the basin has significantly existing infrastructure and is located in good proximity to attractive markets like Cushing, Oklahoma, and the Gulf Coast. Also, this positioning historically made Oklahoma energy analysts track Oventive closely as a key execution benchmark. The company did not reveal its total assets in the Anadarko Basin, but with this, Oventive will assume $215 million worth of New Vista Energy net debt, but they're going to add nearly 930 well locations and about 140,000 net acres, of which 70% is undeveloped in the oil-rich Alberta Monterey area. Therefore, Alberta Monterey became the dominant strategic frontier for Ovintiv moving forward. So not quite sure if it's because they feel like they can produce that oil cheaper in Canada or what the deal is, but they're going to divest from their Oklahoma properties and move north to Canada with this new Vista. Still going to be based out of Houston. But Ovintiv, that's a big name. I mean, they drilled a lot of wells out here in this area. Kind of curious to see who's going to acquire those assets. Going to take a quick break. Be back with more of the Thursday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show right after this.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? Catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for you. Of course they got burgers. They got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Millions of dollars in equipment, plus the best concessions you'll find anywhere mean one thing. Your kids and grandkids are going to have a ball at the carnival on the west side of Elk City. Games for all ages with lots of prizes. Fun rides for the little ones. Thrilling rides for the bigger kids. Save big and keep riding with unlimited ride wristbands. Thursday from 6 to 10 p.m., just $30. Friday night, 5 till 11, $35. And it's Kids Day Saturday from noon till 4, only $25. Then Saturday evening, 5 to 11, wristbands are $35. And Sunday afternoon, only $25. Concessions are so good, some people come just to eat. Gourmet funnel cakes with homemade whipped cream and fresh strawberries, caramel apples, slow-roasted turkey legs, cotton candy, fresh squeezed lemonade and cherry limeade, and hand-dipped corn dogs. Your kids and grandkids will make some great memories at the carnival, Thursday through Sunday near the Fiveplex on the west side of Elk City.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FIX for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FIX for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FIX.
We rent most everything, from backhoes to mowers to lifts and chainsaws. DJ's Rentals and Sales, 225-1400 on South Main in Elk City.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
DCP Services, one of our great sponsors of this program. Jeff and Terry Davis, we appreciate all the good folks at DCP. Diversified Oilfield Company offering the right services with the right people on the job. They have a roustabout division. They got the lease operators division. You know, you can hire them out for relief pumping. A wireline division with both braided and slick line options. And they've still got their pump repair shop in Cordell, rebuilding those pumps to like new. Find out more on the Book of Faces, DCP Services on Facebook, or call Jeff Davis, 580-660-0501. 580-660-0501. Fred's Steakhouse, home of the $4.99 chicken fried steak. Appreciate Daryl Kelly and all the good folks at Fred's Steakhouse for sponsoring this show. Appreciate him for the great food that he brings to Western Oklahoma, like numerous side options like fresh salad, soup of the day, freshly baked rolls made in their in-house bakery. Their in-house butcher cuts fresh daily USDA-graded beef ribeyes, New York strips, filet mignon, sirloins. Their pork chops are also delectable. If chicken's your choice, they got 7 kinds. Barbecued, grilled, teriyaki, mushroom, baja, just to name a few, and seafood. Maybe that's what you crave. They've got grilled salmon. They got fried and grilled shrimp, fish tacos. They also have freshwater fried catfish. And they got appetizers sure to please everyone on your list. Wood, chips, fried pickles, cheese, curds, mushrooms, Rocky Mountain oysters, to name a few. Cap off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts at Fred's. They also have a full-service bar, and they can host your private event. Christmas parties, they're getting booked right now. Call them today, 243-2100. Order online on the Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's Fred's Steakhouse. Just around the corner and up the street, ASCO Equipment there at 513 West 20th Street. Branch Manager Jeremy Bridgman. If you're looking for heavy equipment for sale or rent, ASCO Equipment is your source. It's the big stuff. Excavators, forklifts, compactors, dozers, cranes, wheel loaders, backhoes, tractors, skid steers, and more. When you partner with ASCO, their equipment repair shop ensures quick and efficient heavy equipment repair. They'll come and repair your equipment whether you bought it from them or not. If you want to trade in your equipment, they'll give you an eval. Bart Shields on the equipment sales. And then if you need to rent equipment to get your job done, EJ Gredeman, they're ready to help. They represent like Case Construction, Case IH, Caterpillar Lift Truck Line, Bobcat, Crown, Genie, Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Volvo. ASCO's family owned. Has been doing it since 1960, honoring God, developing people, pursuing excellence, growing profitability. ASCO Equipment online, ASCOEQ.com. That's ASCOEQ.com, or call them at 323-3422. Tell them you heard about it on the Exploring Energy radio show. When I was researching for the show, came across this little nugget. Groups are stunned after court backs the Brandon gas rules. Energy Policy and Conservation Act at center of D.C. ruling fight. Natural gas organizations say a D.C. Court of Appeals got it wrong in a ruling this week that they contend failed to protect consumers from former President Joe Brandon's DOE regulatory overreach. Department of Energy regulatory overreach. Additionally, the groups aggressively escalated pushback because they see this moment as a turning point inside the federal policy direction that directly impacts natural gas viability in American heating policy. Also, Oklahoma energy observers closely follow this because Oklahoma homes rely heavily on natural gas. About 67% in Oklahoma heat their home by natural gas. And the final interpretation of this Energy Policy and Conservation Act could influence market access across multiple fuel classes. The ruling came in the challenge of the Department of Energy's DOE rulemaking on commercial water heaters and residential furnaces. Therefore, this case sits at the intersection of industrial appliance technology, consumer economic risk exposure, and statutory limits placed directly inside the Energy Policy and Conservation Act. And I quote, "These standards run afoul of the careful balance Congress struck in the Energy Policy and Conservation Act between improving energy efficiency and preserving consumer choice," reads the dissenting opinion from Circuit Judge Naomi Ryo. While EPCA, the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, empowers the development to set efficiency standards, the statute also imposes a critical limit on that authority. The agency is prohibited from imposing an efficiency standard that will result in the unavailability of a product with a performance characteristic that consumers value. The ability to vent through a traditional chimney is exactly the kind of real-world feature Congress protected from elimination in the marketplace. So basically, if you know anything about it, if you got a natural gas water heater and natural gas furnace, you have a flue. You'll have a piece of, mostly galvanized pipe going to run right up through from the top of your unit, take that flue gas and stick it outside. So the gas associations respond aggressively to this ruling. In a statement after the ruling, the American Gas Association, the American Public Gas Association, and the National Propane Gas Association rebuked the ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. Additionally, the groups, they framed the decision as a direct threat to consumer choice. During a winter cycle where inflation pressure remains elevated and energy affordability dominates household decision-making, what's going to be your most affordable option? Is it going to be all electric? Is it going to be natural gas? Is it going to be a combination? Well, the group said 2 judges signed against affordability and consumer choice for home heating in the U.S. as the country enters the winter season. According to this gentleman, the ruling, if left unchanged, will impact 55% of natural gas households and force expensive home and rebuilding renovations to accommodate appliances with vastly different venting and drainage systems. The rule will saddle families with a higher energy bill or eliminate natural gas as a home heating option altogether, stated the organizations. The D.C. Circuit Court failed the American people today, making a decision that removes choice. Again, could force up to 55% of natural gas households into expensive home renovations and higher energy bills, said AGA President and CEO Karen Harbert. Longstanding U.S. law does not support this conclusion, and we strongly disagree with this decision. America's natural gas industry will continue to fight to protect American consumers and their right to choose their appliances and energy sources. So this appliance category stakes remain extremely high. The group charged that the Brandon area residential furnaces rule effectively bans the sale of non-condensing natural gas furnaces. Additionally, advocacy groups argued that the exact scenario Congress wrote into the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, the EPCA, a protection language where government cannot remove functional features required by consumers. They contend that the consumers who currently rely on efficient non-condensing furnaces will remodel homes or abandon natural gas appliances at a time when electricity prices trend higher. Therefore, the fight over the Energy Policy and the Conservation Act now functions as the highest priority inflection point for the Department of Energy rulemaking, market access, consumer choice, emissions policy direction, manufacturing standards reform, and long-term national energy affordability. Finally, Oklahoma Energy voices expect this case to move forward, either the Supreme Court escalation or congressional intervention, because fuel type access sits directly on the core of national heating strategy. Like I said, 65% of homes in the United States are heated by natural gas. I think it's actually 67%. But anyway, this ruling by these judges in D.C., which I don't have a whole lot of love or respect for some of these people. Now, they did have that one judge that dissented, said these standards run afoul of the careful balance Congress struck in the Energy Policy and Conservation Act. Here's again the government under Brandon, and we all felt it. They were all trying to dictate what direction we went. They wanted to force us all to, drive electric vehicles. They wanted to force us all to not use natural gas for heating, for stoves, for water heating our homes. They didn't want us to use natural gas for any of that. Citing the climate change. We're near the bottom of the hour. When we come back, another big name, and I've talked a little bit about it already, but I want to hit it again, is shifting his idea about climate change and what the general population of the world should do about it. I'll have that more. The other side of this commercial timeout. The Thursday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show continues right after this.
The Exploring Energy Show.
Timber Oklahoma is your safe and reliable expert tree care service. At Timber, we provide professional tree trimming and removal with a focus on safety, quality, and clear communication. With over 10 years of experience and certified in the Electrical Hazards Awareness Program, our crews provide tree trimming and removal, storm damage cleanup, utility line clearance. Call Timber today at 580-732-3400 or see us online at www.timberokla.com or email us at customercare@timberoklahoma.com.
Hi, it's Andy Taylor. We're living in some very turbulent times. It's easy to get discouraged in the normal course of life, but the good news is God has all the answers. His presence and companionship always makes all the difference. A big part of what we do at Trinity Fellowship is to help people in the process of coming into relationship with the Father. We'd love to help you. Our services start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can find us on our Trinity Fellowship Facebook page, or you can listen right here on KECO at 9:30. We'd love to have you be part of our family.
Need to dig it? Then it's time to rent it. But call 811 first and then head on over to DJ's Rentals and Sales and let their knowledgeable staff help you get it started. Whether it's a backhoe, a post hole digger, a mini excavator, or a skid steer that you need to help make that job a little easier. You can find them all and more at DJ's Rentals and Sales, 911 South Main Street in Elk City. Text them on the text line at 580-799-7214. Find and follow them on Facebook. And don't forget to call 811 first.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with the Oilfield, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the Oilfield, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Hey folks, this is EJ Grediman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, Cowboy Country, listen up. The Key Showroom Radio Show will be live this Saturday morning from 11 to 2. Just look for the big red truck in the parking lot of the Elk City Napa store for Backyard Butcher's bulk meat sale. They'll be there for 3 full days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You can get 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. That's less than $2 per steak. And while they last, get 2 pounds of crab legs for $39. It's 3 full days of Backyard Butcher's meat sale. Don't miss it. Look for the big red truck at the Napa in Elk City. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT accepted. Find out more online at backyardbutchers.com. For over 100 years, Farm Credit of Oklahoma has proudly served our area's farmers and ranchers. So when it comes to ag lending, don't fret it. Call Farm Credit. You'll never regret it.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
We are back. Thanks again for making us part of your day. Sustaining Oklahoma's energy resources. We hear Mike Rowe in these commercials, and we see him on TV pushing, well, Oklahoma energy, natural gas and oil, understanding what it is it really means to not only Oklahoma, but to the United States, well, or to the world for that matter. So again, Mike Rowe continues to push for sustaining Oklahoma's energy resources, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. They got some upcoming educational opportunities. Hope you'd signed up for the one that's going on this morning. The Natural Gas Midstream Marketing 101 is the next class. That's going to happen December the 4th, and it's an in-person or Zoom meeting, both. Natural Gas Midstream and Marketing 101 will introduce the functions of oil and gas industry that involve the transportation, storage, and sale of oil and gas products. It's a wonderful program. If you want to be a part of that, go to SOER, SOER.OERB.com. SOER, SOER.OERB.com. And if you don't have a computer and you want to talk to somebody, you can call Tawny Claus. No relation to Santa, I understand. You can call her at 405-601-2098. 405-601-2098. Tell them you heard about it here on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. And Camrock Supply. After that busy spring and summer, you're ready to put the tractor up. We'll do a maintenance on any equipment that you store. So that way, next spring, when you're ready to use it, it's ready to go. Get everything you need for tractor or motor maintenance. Camrock Supply. Next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Online, Camrock Supply, C-A-M Rock, camrocksupply.com. 3 local guys with local ties just doing business with their community. Okay. And as promised, Bill Gates, humanist challenge to the anti-fossil fuel climate establishment was only possible because the moral monopoly against fossil fuels has been breaking. Now it will break even faster. Early last week, I mentioned it, Bill Gates released a viral memo about raising GHG levels. 3 tough truths about climate, purporting to be a new way to look at the problem ahead of the influential COP, the Conference of Parties Climate Conference. The core of the memo, the supposed new way to look at the problem, will be very familiar to those who have read my work, according to this author, Alex Epstein, who wrote this article. Energy humanists, okay? Energy humanists, such as Bjorn Lomborg, Steve Cronin, and Michael Schellenberger. He says we should measure success by our impact on human welfare more than our impact on the global temperature, which means we should reject climate policies where human welfare takes a backseat to lowering emissions with bad consequences. On the basis of this human-centric new way to look at the problem, Gates challenges the 2 most sacredly held tenets of the global anti-fossil fuel movement. 1, climate catastrophism. Although climate change will have serious consequences, it will not lead to humanity's demise. People will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future. Most places on Earth. That's so funny. Net zero by 2050. No limit temperature from rising to 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Refocus on the metric that should count even more than emissions and temperature change, and that is improving lives. While neither Gates' human-centricism or his challenges to the anti-fossil fuel movement are new to the expert conversation about climate, what is new is that one of the biggest thought and action leaders in the international climate policies and politics would take this position. This has generated great excitement in the energy humanist community and in the broader pro-human and pro-freedom communities, since the world of international politics listens when Gates, the world's largest philanthropist and huge influencer of government aid, speaks. Gates' mind didn't change, but his incentives did, which is even more fortuitous. I think there's even more cause for excitement than one might think, because what's happening is far more significant than what it appears to be, which is one very, very influential person publicly changing his mind. What's actually happening is not Gates has changed his mind. There is ample evidence that he's long held the key tenets of his new memo. What's happening is that the intellectual, economic, and political environment has changed so much and so quickly that Bill Gates, one of the shrewdest, most calculating people on Earth, after authoring a conventional climate catastrophist book just a few years ago, feels incentivized to challenge the global anti-fossil fuel movement, anti-humanism, catastrophism, and renewous net zero obsession. If we understand how this happened, which I argue is through the mechanism of breaking a moral monopoly, we can achieve even more rapid progress in the near future. So the leverage of breaking a moral monopoly. Let's talk about that a minute. In reframing the conversation, the final chapter, Fossil Future, which was written between 2018 and 2021. This author made the case that the anti-fossil fuel movement could be stopped, despite the fact that at the time that today's world is starting to head in the deadly direction of fossil fuel elimination, and that support for that direction was so overwhelmingly massive, and it was for a while. He goes on to say, how could I make this case at a time when every major government, corporation, financial investor, and cultural institution seem confidently united in support of rapidly eliminating fossil fuels? Because he said he believed that the seemingly insurmountable anti-fossil fuel movement was based on easy-to-refute set of anti-human and false ideas, which he calls the anti-impact framework, that seemed powerful only because it had a moral monopoly. More people thought that. The fossil fuel elimination movement is an incredibly fragile creature, and it's based on the indefensible anti-impact framework, which has an anti-human goal, eliminate human impact on general and CO2 emissions in particular, a false and anti-human view of the planet, the delicate nurturer assumption, and a thoroughly international, irrational method of evaluation, ignoring benefits and catastrophizing the, side effects, making this catastrophe meaningable. I mean, that you feel like. Butch and I talked about this so many times. You know, we grew up in a time where the first thing was the hole in the ozone. We're all going to fry to death because people were using aerosol cans. They got rid of the aerosol cans, and we went to pump sprays and those kind of things like that. Well, the hole in the ozone never happened. Well, then the next thing was the ice age. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't global warming. It was the ice age was going to return, and that polar ice cap was going to flow all the way down to almost Mexico at the time. A lot of people were on board with that. Well, that didn't happen either. Well, then they came across with, global warming. That was the next thing. Global warming. It's the CO2 emissions. It's killing our planet. It's making it hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And it's going to continue to get hot, so hot that you're not going to be able to walk outside. Well, that didn't fly. That got refuted. So then they decided climate change. Not so much global warming, but just changing the climate. So they kept changing their narrative. They kept changing that climate catastrophe to fit whatever they felt like they needed. But to go on with the story, once one understands the power and fragility of an underserved moral monopoly, an inspiring implication emerges to change the trajectory of the culture. We don't need to try to change everyone's mind on this issue. What we really need to do is something much easier. We need to break the moral monopoly of the moral case for eliminating fossil fuels. This writer was optimistic that the moral monopoly of the anti-fuel movement could be broken for two reasons. One, the reality of anti-fossil fuel policies would be far more negative than people expected. And two, the power of reframing the energy climate conversation from a humanistic perspective was far more powerful than people imagined. On the reality of anti-fossil fuel policies being negative, this author wrote, one factor that will contribute to breaking the moral monopoly against fossil fuels is reality. Already we're seeing clear evidence that there's something wrong with the policies of the anti-fossil fuel movement. As this guy's been writing this book, his adopted home state, California, has been besieged by blackouts due to over-reliance on unreliable solar and wind. Around the world, there are popular movements against the higher energy prices brought about by green policies. At the same time, countries that take energy seriously, like China and India, are using and will continue to use more fossil fuels, exposing the lie that green energy will rapidly replace fossil fuels. Soon enough, events will reveal more and more glaringly that being anti-fossil fuel is truly a destructive position. There are two features of the machine learning revolution that are crucial to recognize when it comes to energy. One is it's extremely energy intensive, involving rapidly growing numbers of power-hungry computers, AI, Bitcoin mining, a need for its efficiency unlimited. While we are going to want to only use so much energy that to produce our food, there's no limit to the amount of life-improving computation that we want. So the reason that the AI quickly generated a rapid increase in highly influential tech giants' need for energy, specifically reliable electricity, this need quickly turned to climate catastrophism and fossil fuel elimination from wealth and status benefiters for tech giants to wealth and status destroyers. Now these tech giants are understanding, hey, we can't do it without natural gas. Nuclear. Anyway, I just thought this was very interesting. The Bill Gates, who I have lost a lot of respect for long ago, one, how he treated his wife, or the other, just, how he used his influence and his power to convince people that there was an overpopulation, that the climate catastrophe was real. We had to go all green. I mean, his company was like, hey, we're going to use 100% renewable energy for our energy consumption. Well, that didn't work. So guess what? He changed his mind. Not to mention all these scientists that were paid by the government, by Obama and Brandon, to say exactly what they wanted them to say to meet the narrative of moving everything to green energy. They've been debunked. I mean, they were ridiculous when they wrote them. But there were so many of them writing them that, it seemed real to a lot of the people in the world. But for those that really knew, for those that really had those two words that were absent for many moons on the hill, common sense. I'll leave you with that. I'll be back with the mop-up segment of the Exploring Energy Radio Show Thursday edition in a moment.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Isn't it interesting the things we do with labels when it comes to oil and natural gas?
Saying the world is coming to an end is it's a bit of a crazy statement. And I'm sure in those 100 years with the natural gas that we have, we will find some other way to produce energy.
So you're not worried? You're an optimist?
Yeah.
Good.
So I just think people have lost perspective on how much oil and gas is crucial to how they live.
See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FIX for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FIX for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FIX.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
So there's a company out there that has a certain color. All the farmers and stuff think their oil has to be used in those certain color of tractors. And it's just not true. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. I use it at our place. My son uses it for our colored tractors that we have, and a lot of other farmers use it too. It's the same oil. Specifications are the same. It's kind of a myth where they think that it's got to be that certain type of oil for that color of tractor. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil.
Level up your fitness at Modern Fitness. With 24-hour access, you can work out anytime you want. Modern Fitness in Elk City. Get in shape and have fun doing it at a really nice gym.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Okie dokie. All righty. Push a couple buttons here and get this thing going. All right. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. Been managing minerals and royalties for himself and others for nearly 40 years, getting closer to 50 now. It's always changing. It's complicated. He understands it. But the thing that really makes him unique is he'll help you understand it. He'll help you understand it by getting you the most out of your royalties. That's what you'll understand. He'll get you the most out of your royalties. And he's a man of integrity, a man you're going to be glad you're doing business with. He is a wonderful individual, and he is a master certified mineral manager. Promise you. And if you find yourself in a situation to sell, you don't want anybody who's going to take advantage of you. Get somebody who's going to give you a fair market value, give you the fair shake, the real deal, if you will. David's that guy. He's a buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. Call him today, 405-341-8698. 405-341-8698. Tell him you heard about it here on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. If you can't remember that, look him up on the old intraweb. And what if before you needed them, you called American Hose and Supply? What if before your hoses failed, you had replacements ready there at your place? How much easier would that make your life? American Hose and Supply inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Call 303-1123. That's 303-1123. This hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of Carter Electric in Elk City. They provide 24-hour emergency electrical service, 24/7. And you want to make sure your power stays on regardless? Well, Carter Electric is an authorized Generac generator dealer. I highly recommend this. They have financing options available, too. So they can come in and size your place, whether it's your business or your home. They can sell you the right size generator. They can install it correctly with the automatic switches or the throw the switch yourself switches. Either way, they'll do it correctly, and then they can come back and service your generator. Kervin and Mary Orgain, they're the ones who own Carter Electric. They're the ones who help you see the light of day even at night. They also understand a lot of electric work on overhead. That's why they have pole trucks. Man, let's get way up high if there's a problem there. Call them today. Licensed, insured, trusted, Carter Electric. 225-2447. 225-2447. That's Carter Electric providing you this hour's weather forecast. Today's sunny with a high near 76. Light and variable winds becoming south-southwest 11 to 16 in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 24. Mostly cloudy tonight and then gradually becoming clear with a low around 49. South wind 8 to 15 miles per hour. Coming north after midnight, winds could gust as high as 23 miles an hour. Friday sunny with a high near 73. North wind 11 to 16, decreasing to not to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 24. Tomorrow night clear with a low around 44. Calm and becoming south 5 to 7 miles per hour in the evening. So take a jacket, take a blanket with you. Out there to the football games if you're going. Sunny, Saturday, sunny with a high near 68. Southwest winds 8 to 13. Coming north 18 to 23 miles per hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 34 miles an hour. Saturday night, low around 34. Getting back around to where you get your hoses off your faucets if you haven't already. Sunday, sunny with a high near 49. Okay, Sunday night, here she comes. Clear with a low around 26. It's going to be getting colder this weekend. Monday, sunny with a high near 58. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 40. Veterans Day, next Tuesday, sunny with a high near 72. Tuesday night, low around 41. And then Wednesday, mostly sunny, high near 71 degrees. That's your weather forecast. So, again, things are going to cool up a little bit this weekend. get around 26 degrees Sunday night. And that is freezable weather, no doubt about it. Okay. Well, this little nugget also. More illegal immigrant truckers caught in Oklahoma. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, if you will, drives targeted removal effort. More illegal immigrant truckers have been removed from the highways of Oklahoma thanks to Operation Guardian. Additionally, officials intensified coordinated because, well, joint enforcement operations have become a core protective shield around a regional commercial vehicle safety. Also, Oklahoma Energy stakeholders recognize that aggressive roadway enforcement directly intersects economic throughput and logistics reliability because freight movement underpins energy infrastructure supply chains in Oklahoma. This time, the eastern part of the state, where Department of Public Safety and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested 70 illegal immigrants, 34 individuals accused of operating commercial trucks without legal status in the U.S. Therefore, Oklahoma authorities assert they are proactively protecting public roadway integrity, not waiting until a catastrophic event exposes systematic gaps. We feel it is critical here in Oklahoma to take this type of enforcement action, and our partnership with ICE has been very productive, said Tim Tipton, the commissioner of the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety. We look at this as not only a public safety issue from the circumstance of untrained drivers, a lot of the time non-English speaking drivers. Yikes. That's something to chew on, but hey, at least Oklahoma's doing something about it. And I-40, southernmost east-west corridor, and I-35, the north-south corridor in the middle of the United States, has a lot of truckers on it. Man, when you start thinking about these people can't even read a dadgum sign or don't even have the authority to have a commercial driver's license, and they're driving these big rigs, it is a recipe for disaster. Energy briefs. Energy news in my briefs. The Trump administration announces $1.4 billion deal with Vulcan Elements and Re-Element Technologies, consisting of federal loans and private investments to produce rare earth magnets in the U.S., used in EV motors, data centers, and other electronics. A lot in the healthcare also. This accelerates a domestic critical minerals capacity and shifts supply chain leverage back toward U.S. industrial base. This also directly reinforces long-term Oklahoma energy industrial demand cycles around high-density power applications. The White House confirms it won't send any high-level leaders to the COP30 climate summit starting next week, or a pre-conference for top officials. This decision signals a deliberate withdrawal posture from elite diplomacy channels heading into major emissions policy cycles. Democratic state lawmakers in New York urged Governor Kathy Hochul to delay the state's coming ban on gas stoves and heating in new buildings. And state legislators warned the ban could raise household operating cost curves and restrict consumer energy choice early in transition timing. And Ørsted said they'll sell half of the world's largest offshore wind farms to the Hornsea 3 array in UK. U.S. asset management firm Apollo for around $6 billion in what's likely to move a move by Ørsted to avoid a credit downgrade. This marks a tactical balance sheet move to preserve capital flexibility and stabilize long-cycle offshore risk exposure. Executives of two of Europe's top gas suppliers, ExxonMobil and Qatar Energy, or Qatar, however you want to say it, on Monday warned that they could stop doing business with the European Union if it does not significantly loosen a sustainability law that could impose fines of 5% of their global revenue. Energy diplomats see this as a potential fracture point between global suppliers and EU regulatory finance enforcement. And finally, power generation in India plunged by 6% in October from a year earlier, the sharpest drop since the COVID lockdowns in 2020. As lower industrial demand due to holidays and unusually rainy weather dampened consumption, according to the Reuters analysis of government data. This collapse indicates demand volatility. Gross emerging economies remain tight to climate patterns. Okay, I'm not going to get to all of the energy stock prices, but I will tell you this. It's mostly green. recently read are American Power and ConocoPhillips. American Power down 15 cents to 119.61. ConocoPhillips down 5 cents to 87.60, or actually down 11 cents to 87.61. So everything else in the green. So that's looking good. Don't forget Paragon Communications, Paragon TV. ParagonTV.com will have Merritt hosting Watonga this Friday night. Blake Brewer and Travis Stout, and then Big Elks will host Woodward on BigElkTV.com. Small schools basketball kicking off tomorrow night, too. Talk more about that. Become a member of Paragon TV today. Thanks for listening. I promise we'll talk again. Have yourself a great day.
There's a good mix of music.
Really good music.
Let's go. This is KECO, Elk City.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa, the 36.